Well, hello and welcome. Today we're in Colonial Williamsburg and we're talking about historic gardening tools. We're here with Miss Eve Otmar. Eve is the historic trades gardener here at Colonial Williamsburg. Thanks for letting us be here today and talk to you about some of these tools. Well, thank you very much. Tell me, what are some of these tools you've got here?
So this time of year we're turning soil, getting ready for the winter garden. Okay. So our workhorses are the spades. Okay. And then you're turning the garden beds shortly thereafter. Right. You're using a hoe, and you want to use the largest hoe you have to really break up the clods. Sure. Help form your ridges if you're going to have ridges. And then shortly thereafter you follow with a nice rake. Right. You want to find any of the little clods you haven't gotten, and you can actually use it this way, right, and then to smooth the bed to make it perfect, you turn
nice
it over
and flat with the back side. That makes perfect sense. I see you've got some other things, some pruners here. Wow, those things are heavy.
Yeah, so you can skip going to the gym. Yeah. This is from iron and made out of wood handles, okay, but it does a really great job. You know, the only difference between tools then and now is kind of the materials.
Sure. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense because a lot of these things just seem very similar. Even these pruners, right?
Those are very nice. These are blacksmith made here in town, and they do the same thing they did back then, just a little differently. That's a little different engineering.
That's great. Well, I know there's some other practices and things we might go over there and see right now.
All right. If you'd like, we go on up and take a look.
All right. Well, Eve, this is a great garden you've got here. Tell me about it.
All right, so this is our winter garden, and all those tools we just talked about, right, we used those just yesterday. So we turned the entire bed with the spades, then we went ahead and raked or hoed, right, and then we used the rake to shape all of our ridges here, and then we planted this morning. So that's why some of these don't look so great, but that's also why we use these bell jars, okay, over the top of them. Helps kind of help them along and get acclimated to being in the ground.
So that's something that we'd find nowadays, something like a hot cap or something to protect the plants from cooler temperatures.
And bell jar or cloche is the term for that tool. Okay. So these are winter hardy, which means they have a higher level of sugar in their system. Okay. So kohlrabi, we have collards here, and there's broccoli and cauliflower. There's chard in the middle, and we have a few cabbages out on the edge.
Well, that's excellent. This really looks great.
It'll look better in a couple of weeks, but...
Well, it's amazing really to look at all the tools from that era and seeing that they're very similar to what we have today. Yes. I really appreciate you letting us come out and see some of these things you're doing here today.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, for more information about tools like this or the gardens in Colonial Williamsburg, go to colonialwilliamsburg.com. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.